allow for the recording as we have to share it. If someone does not, then it will go off. Okay, the recording has started.
Okay, in the unit 1, as I said, I'll be discussing the second part. In that, we are discussing mathematical models for production performance. In that, we are going to discuss production rate, what is production capacity, utilization, availability, manufacturing lead time, work in process. And there will be a discussion on simple problems using these mathematical models and equations. After that, we'll be discussing the manufacturing cost, simple problems on manufacturing cost. Here you have the self-learning topic, that is automation for machining operations. You will find it in the textbook, this particular topic. You'll have to just read it on your own. So let us get started with what are these mathematical models for production performance. So we know that there are, whenever it comes to any industries, okay. I hope you know which textbook you all have to refer. We are referring to Automation, Production System and Computer Integrated Manufacturing, the third edition. Please note, it is the third edition that we are referring. Almost all the contents of the syllabus you'll find in the third edition instead of the second or the next edition. This is a textbook by Michael P. Gruver. Kindly refer to this textbook only. So moving on to the topic. Okay, let us see, why is it important for us to study the manufacturing models and matrices? Whenever it comes to any of the manufacturing sectors, every day we need to keep ourselves updated. There are so many new technologies that keep coming up. The industries want to go for different types of systems, different types of technologies which are in the market. And when it comes to taking a decision as to whether the current system that they are using is better, or the latest one, or the new technologies that are better, there is always going to be a comparative study that they'll be making. And in order to understand whether which system is better, there are these models which are there, these matrices which they can apply, and they can measure their performance with the help of these matrices. So the successful manufacturing companies, they basically use a variety of matrices which will help them to manage their operations. These quantitative matrices that we'll be talking about, they provide a company with the means to track the performance in whatever period they decide to track it. Like suppose if they want to track their performance for a week, it's possible. If you want to have a period for 1 month or 1 year, any of these, you can choose your own time frame. The companies can choose their own time frame, and based on that time frame, you can evaluate these performances. So basically, when it comes to manufacturing matrices, now why I'm saying manufacturing matrices here instead of just the matrices, because we are basically concentrating on the manufacturing sector. So these manufacturing matrices, they can basically they can be divided into two basic categories. Okay, before I move on to the two basic categories, I request you all to have a pen and a book in your hand, because this part of the syllabus requires things to be written down, because there are these equations and definitions with respect to those particular matrices that you need to note down. And with the help of these equations that you'll note down, we'll be solving problems. So I request you all to please take a pen and a paper in your hand, and I will be giving you few seconds to just note down these things as and when I start discussing. Okay, so basically you can start with this point, that is manufacturing matrices. Okay, they can be divided into two categories. Can you see it here?
Yes, ma'am.
Is it visible to all?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
So you can see it here, manufacturing matrices, basically. They are they are classified into two categories. The first is production performance measure, and the second is manufacturing cost. Under production performance measure, we have production rate, plant capacity, reliability or utilization, manufacturing lead time, and availability. So these are the matrices that we are going to study first. After we finish discussing these, we will be moving on to manufacturing cost. In that, we'll be studying about the labor and material cost, cost of production, and cost of operation. So all of these these two criterias basically will help us to analyze the performance of a company. So these are few of the measures that we are going to study. There can be still few more measures that a company can prefer, but these are some of the basic measures that are important for us to be known, and therefore we'll be discussing these. So I request you all to please classify these manufacturing matrices into major two classifications, that is production performance measures and manufacturing cost, and then write down the sub points under it. So I'm giving you a few seconds to just finish off this. Okay, shall I proceed?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So before we start understanding the different models of production performance, the production performance measures, we have to first just recollect what you must have already come across in the previous class, like what is product quantity, what is product variety. These are some of the terms which you need to know. Like these are the prerequisites that are important in order to understand whatever we are going to discuss further. So just to quickly go through this, what is product variety basically? Product variety, it refers to the different product designs or types that are produced in a plant. So the definition is quite obvious. You all know what do we mean by variety, right? So product variety here refers to the same. It is nothing but what are the different types of products that are available, what are the different designs that are available. That's what is product variety. So when it comes to different types of products that are available in the plant, we again can classify the product variety into high product variety and soft product variety. High product variety, it is when the products differ substantially. Like whenever there is a lot of difference between the different products that are there, we call it as there is a high product variety of the products in the plant. Soft product variety, it is when there is a very small difference between the products. Okay, so this basically is a quick brushing about what is product variety, and product variety basically is denoted by alphabet P, capital P. Please note this, product variety. It refers to the different product designs or types that are produced in a plant. Next is, you must have already come across this. As I said, I'm just revising it again. What is production quantity? Now we know what is quantity already. But when with respect to production quantity, this is the definition. Production quantity, it refers to the number of units of a given part or product that is produced annually by the plant. Okay, so production quantity is actually the number of parts that are produced, total number of parts that are produced in a plant. That is production quantity, and it is denoted by alphabet Q, capital Q. Please make sure, if you are not writing everything that is put here, at least make sure that you are going to write what are the abbreviations of all these topics that we are discussing. Okay, so production quantity, again, there are three types. We have low production, medium production, high production. You already know this. Low production, then we call the production to be low production when the number of units are in the range of 1 to 100. Medium production is when it is in the range of 100 to 10,000 units. And high production, it is basically more than 10,000 units. Okay, this basically is the time period that has been chosen here is annual. So in a year, how many products are produced? Based on that, they have defined the production quantity. But as and when we move ahead with our discussion, you will come across the time frame to be weekly, monthly, or yearly. It again depends upon the person who is using these measures to analyze their performance. Okay. Is it clear till here? Audible, understandable? I need a reply. Am I
Yes,
fast,
ma'am.
slow? Any suggestions? Is it okay? The space is okay.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So as I just discussed about the different types of production quantities, this particular figure, it just shows you the relationship between the product variety and production quantity. High variety, low production quantity. When it comes to medium production, you have medium range variety and medium production quantity, and then you have high wherein the variety is less and the quantity is more. So this is just a representation of it. The next two parameters which you should be knowing are a number of parts per product. How many number of parts are together assembled in order to make one product? That is indicated by small np. Kindly note this point. Number of parts per product, NP. And number of operations to produce a part. That is one part that is produced. How many number of operations are actually performed on that? That is indicated by N naught. Okay. So I hope you have noted down these four performance parameters or the process parameters. First is product variety, production quantity. Third is number of parts per product, NP. And fourth is number of operations to be, number of operations to produce a part, N naught. Okay. So now we will start discussing the actual thing that we wanted to discuss. That is the first manufacturing matrice, that is production rate. We will start with production rate. We will understand what is production rate and how we can calculate the production rate. So I request you all to please start writing from here, because you can get questions based on this. One is you can get problems, and also you can have these certain equations to be derived and shown, and also some definitions are too very important along with problems. But at times you can even get questions wherein you have to derive certain equations. So instead of going in the detailed write-up that is there in the textbook, you can just refer to whatever is put down here. And as and when I am reading out the things, you can simultaneously just start writing. It will help you to understand better. Don't just rely on whatever, because we are not sharing any notes with you people. Whatever notes or whatever content is there, it is going to be only displayed here. We are not sharing these notes with you. Okay, and that's again in order to bring some seriousness during the class. Okay, so let's start with what is production rate. Production rate basically for an individual processing or assembly operation, it is usually expressed as an hourly rate. Okay, hourly rate in the sense how many parts are produced in an hour. That is production rate. It is always expressed in terms of hours. In 1 hour, how many parts are produced? Okay, that is production rate. and it is expressed as an hourly rate. So it's basically the number of work units that are completed per hour. Important here, very important point here is you need to know the units with respect to all these measures. Okay. So when it comes to production rate, as I said, it is going to help us know how many pieces or how many units or how many parts are produced in an hour. So the unit of it is pieces per hour. Kindly note this. So production rate, it is denoted by RP. It is expressed as an hourly rate, that is number of work units completed per hour. So the unit of production rate is pieces per hour.
Excuse me, ma'am.
Yes.
Full page is not visible. Only half of it is visible.
You don't need the full page currently. You can see
No,
what
no,
is
it is visible. It is visible.
it's visible, no? Okay, once again, I'm repeating. Those who have not pinned me there, you may find some difficulty in seeing the things.
Excuse me, ma'am.
Yes.
The above part of the page is not visible. We are getting the page, but the above part is not visible. Still not.
Ma'am, it is happening for mobile user.
Hmm.
Yes, ma'am. Mobile is
Hmm.
facing a problem.
Uh,
It is visible, ma'am.
Pin it full screen, no? Go for full screen and try it.
Then also it's not visible fully, ma'am.
Not visible completely. Okay, is it visible now?
Ha, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Just let's wait for it to get clear. Clear?
Clear and
Yes,
visible.
ma'am.
Okay. So I think because see, I'm basically going to cover this half of the unit, and I will be discussing the next unit. Both the units have problems to be discussed. So shall I go for whiteboard teaching instead?
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Anyways, this part was going to be conducted by Sachin sir as he's not well. It was a last minute adjustment that we had to do, and that's how this is what best we could plan because it was on a very short notice that we had to plan things. But anyways, for tomorrow's class, maybe I'll just go for the board teaching. Okay.
Okay, ma'am.
Okay, so once again, I'm repeating what is production rate. Important points here to note is production rate, it is denoted by RP. Here, RP. And it is the number of parts that are produced in an hour. So the unit of this is pieces per hour or units per hour, or you can say parts per hour. Okay. Now, when it comes to production, we know there are three types of productions: job shop, there is batch production, and there is mass production. We know these three types of productions, and we are going to determine the production rate with respect to these three types of productions. So we are going to see how we can get the production rate for job shop production, for batch, and for mass production. So let us consider how production rate is determined for the three types of productions. Before we start with, or before we move on to get the equations for of production rate for these three types of productions, we first need to understand what is cycle time. So cycle time, it is denoted by TC. Kindly note this point, and I request you to please briefly, at least briefly, start writing all these points. Okay, so Under production rate, first we are going to understand what is cycle time. So cycle time, for any production operation, the cycle time TC, it is defined as the time that one work unit spends being processed or assembled. Okay, I'll repeat again. Cycle time, it is defined as the time that one work unit or one part, it spends being processed or assembled. So there are these two operations. Either you go for processing operations or you'll go for assembly operation of a part. So the time that a particular part is spending being processed or assembled is called as the cycle time. Okay. It is the time between when one work unit begins processing and when the next unit begins. So it is the time between the start of processing of one unit till the start of processing of next unit. That is cycle time. So cycle time, it is defined as the time that one work unit spends being processed or assembled. It is the time between when one work unit begins processing and when the next unit begins. So in simpler words, cycle time, that is TC, it is the time an individual part spends at the machine. Okay. So as I said in simpler terms, cycle time, it is the time an individual part spends at the machine, but not all of this time is productive. Do you actually feel that the time for which the part is on the machine, all of it is productive? It's not. Okay. So there will be, suppose if you consider a typical processing operation, maybe machining operation, if you consider, this cycle time basically is going to consist of, one second. Okay. So in a typical processing operation, suppose if I consider machining operation, this cycle time, it consists of actual machining operation time, work part handling time, tool handling time per workpiece. So this processing time that the cycle time that is there, it will consist of time that the part is actually getting, spends in actual, where it actually gets processed. There will be time which is going to be spent on work part handling, like adjusting of some fixtures, some tools. The tool handling is yet another part in which, some time is also spent in tool handling. So this total cycle time, that is the time that an individual part spends on a machine, consists of actual time that is used for processing. There will be time spent in adjusting the workpiece, fixing it properly such that it can be machined. And also there will be time that is going to be spent in order to make all the tool settings. Okay, so just a second. Return to Okay. So we were discussing cycle time, and in cycle time, as I said, not all of the time is productive. There is some time which the part will be spent in getting actually machined. Some time is spent in adjusting the work part, and some time will be spent in the tool handling part. Okay. So basically, these are the okay. Cycle time basically it consists of the following, that is actual machining operation time, work part handling time, tool handling time per workpiece. So please write down that cycle time TC it consists of 1, 2 and 3. Actual machining time it is denoted by T naught. Work part handling time it is denoted by TH, and tool handling time per workpiece it is denoted by TH. So we have an equation that you can see here, which is used to express this cycle time. You can use this equation to find out what is the cycle time. So this can be expressed as an equation which is shown here, that is TC is given by T naught plus TH plus TTH. This is your equation number 1. Where T naught it is actual machining operation time, TH it is work part handling time, and TTH it is the tool handling time per workpiece. So the units with respect to these are cycle time it is given by as minutes per piece, T naught that is actual machining operation minutes per piece, TH that is work part handling time minutes per piece, and the tool handling time per work piece it is minutes per piece. So please note down these. This is very important.
Excuse me, ma'am.
Yes.
Ma'am, PC represents plant capacity, no, ma'am?
PC, we are talking about TC. T for train.
Ma'am,
P for production, yes. PC is plant capacity or production capacity.
then it will become an minimum minutes per plant capacity, no?
We are not talking about PC here. We are talking about TC, cycle time.
No, ma'am, for the units I said.
Cycle time is with respect to one part. One part, how much time it is going to spend getting processed.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, cycle time it is with respect to one particular part or a unit.
Okay, ma'am.
Okay, so here please don't get confused. This is TC, cycle time, not PC. We are not talking about PC. We are talking about TC. It's a cycle. We still have to come to production capacity. That has again a different equation and a different unit. We are basically getting a derivation for production rate. In order to get the equations for production rate, we first need to understand what is cycle time. Because this particular cycle time, it is with respect to one part unit only, one single. Okay. Shall I proceed?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So when we talk about these different terms that you come across in cycle time, the tool handling time here, it basically consists of what? It consists of the time that is spent in changing the tool when they basically wear out, time that is required to change the tools from one tool to the next tool. Or if you go for tool indexing, there is going to be time that is going to be spent. Suppose if you're going for some inserts that have to be used, you need time to change those inserts. So basically, this is how the time is spent when it comes to processing an actual one part, basically. So some of these tool handling activities, they do not occur every cycle. Okay. So what happens? We take the average time per workpiece. The tool handling time is taken as an average time, because maybe when we start with one particular part, it may require tool change at times. It may not require. So we just take an average of all of these, and that is taken as the tool handling time here. Okay. So basically, as I said, this equation is very important. Just note down this equation, and this is your equation 1. Where is TC? It is equal to TE naught plus TH plus TTH. Clear?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Okay. Now I will discuss about the production rate with respect to the 3 types of productions that we have. To start with, we will first see the production rate for batch production. Before going to job production, we will understand the same for batch production, because once you understand batch production, job shop production becomes very simple. Okay. So now we know what is batch production. There is a fixed quantity, there's a batch size, and that particular batch needs to be produced. Mass production, the amount of or the quantity of products that are produced is very large. And when it comes to job shop production, we have very less production that is done in.
Excuse me, ma'am.
Yeah.
Ma'am, move the page a little to the left. Okay, ma'am. Perfect.
Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
So
Thank you.
as you're writing down, I assume that you're writing down things. So first, you just write down as production rate. Under that, first you're going to write down what is cycle time, write the equation of cycle time, and what are the different terms that are used along with their units. You need to write that. After that, again, you can have this batch production as one of the subtopic. Okay. All this comes under production rate only. Okay, so batch production here, the time to process one batch consisting of Q work units is the sum of the setup time and the processing time. So when it comes to batch production, you first are going to find out what is the time that is required to process one batch. Batch has a certain quantity of products to be manufactured. I'm not again going into what is batch production, what is mass production, and what is job shop production. I assume that you already know what it is. So batch production, as we know, there is going to be a quantity that has to be produced. And once that particular batch is ready, once that is completed, you switch to the next batch. So here, the time to process one batch, basically it consists of what? It consists of sum of setup time and processing time. Setup time is again with respect to all the setup that we have to do in order to go for production. Once the setup is done, you need not change it until the complete batch quantity is processed. Therefore, you have the batch processing time. It is given by this equation. TB is what is a batch processing time. The batch processing time is denoted by TB. That is given by setup time plus Q into TC. This is your equation 2. I will once again explain this equation. The batch processing time, it is sum of setup time plus the quantity of the batch size into TC. What is TC? It is the time taken by one part unit to be processed into the number of parts. Say there are 100, a batch size is 100 quantity, or 80 or 60. Okay. So one part, if it is taking say 2 minutes, the total time is going to be 2 into 60 components, for example. And then we have the setup time, that is T setup, which is nothing but which is going to be set once. Once you do that setup, You again need not make any changes in the setup because we are going for batch production. I hope this is clear. So batch production basically, batch production time, it is given by this equation, T setup plus Q into TC. This is your equation 2, where TB, can you hear me?
Yes, ma'am.
Audible. Yes, ma'am.
Yeah, because there was some message that we received. Okay, anyway. Okay, so here TB, it is batch processing time. The unit for it is minutes. TSU, that is T setup, that is the setup time to prepare for the batch. So please note this setup time is going to be the same throughout. It is going to be an average for the complete batch. You are not going to have the setup time with respect to every part. Q is the batch quantity, unit is pieces or number of units, and TC, that is cycle time per work unit, that is minutes per cycle. Can you just put all of these units and see if the LHS and the RHS is balanced? Please check.
Yes, no problem. Had a salad, it is that way.
Yes, ma'am.
Is it balanced? What
Yes,
do you
ma'am.
get?
Minute, ma'am.
Minutes. Okay, so why it is very important is when you get the problem statement, no, it may not be exactly in these units. Instead of minutes, maybe they'll give you hours. Okay, so in that case, you have to remember these units and convert it to the standard units. So you should know all the units, all the terminologies properly. Okay, so this is about batch production time.
Ma'am, TC should be minutes per pieces, right? TC. Cycle time.
Yeah, minutes per pieces, minutes per pieces only. But here in one cycle, there is only one part. So it is taken as minutes per cycle.
Fine.
Because here basically it is assumed that one work unit is completed in one cycle.
Ma'am, like there are Q work units,
Okay.
right?
Yeah, there are a number of parts is Q pieces. So instead of minutes per cycle, you can even write it as minutes per piece. That's fine. Instead of minutes per cycle here, you can write it as minutes per piece. Because we are assuming that there will be one work unit which will be completed in one cycle. So instead of minutes per cycle, you can make it as minutes per piece. There's no problem.
Thank you.
Okay. Moving on. After we get what is the batch production time, next we have to want to get what is the average production time. Average production time, it is denoted by TP. And in order to get TP, you have to divide the batch time by the batch quantity. So here is the third equation where the average production time, TP, is given by TB by Q. TB by Q. So this is the average production time per work unit. Okay. Now coming on to the main thing that we are looking for, that is the production rate. So the average production rate for the machine is simply the reciprocal of production time, which is usually expressed as an RB rate. So this is our final equation, which will help us to get what is the production rate in case of batch production. So as we are going to see the production rate with respect to batch production, job shop, and mass production, this is the first equation with respect to production rate that we have arrived to. That is RP is given by 60 by TP. The average production rate, it is reciprocal of, it is simply the reciprocal of production time. Here, RP, it is hourly production rate, that is pieces per hour. TP is average production time per minute, that is minutes per pieces. And the constant 60 that we use here, it is used to convert minutes to hours. Why is it necessary to convert minutes to hours here? Can anybody answer?
To find the production rate, ma'am.
And production rate basically is expressed as
Rate
hour.
is a function of hourly time, yes.
Yeah. Okay. So this is why 60 is used. So you cannot miss out this constant 60 here, because in case where the units are mentioned in minutes. Suppose if the time that when you start solving the problem, if it is given in minutes. 1 second. Huh? Okay. So here basically this particular constant 60 is important if the unit of time mentioned is minutes. And if it is given in minutes, then you have to use the 60 in order to convert it into hours. And suppose if the problem statement has the unit of time as hours, then you need not use this. You can simply write it as 1 by TP. Okay. So basically, if you see, look at this. This is like when you start solving the problems, you'll have to go reverse. Okay, suppose if the production rate of one batch production company is given, you start with this, that is RP is equals to 60 by TP. Then you have to find what is TP. For TP, you have to refer to this equation. In order to get TP, you should know what is TB. So you go to TB. From TB, so it's here. You find what is TB. In order to get TB, you should know what is TC. So you have an equation to find TC. Okay, so production rate basically with respect to batch production, this is how you're going to get. So you should know all these equations, that is TB, TP, and then RP. This is with respect to batch production. I hope you have written down all these equations. 4 equations. Have you all written?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes. Now moving on to job shop production. Job shop production also, it is same as batch production. Only difference is, what will be the quantity here? Can anybody answer? When it comes to job shop production, what will be the value of Q?
Less than
One.
batch production, ma'am.
It is usually assume it to be 1, right? Therefore, in the same equation, that is the processing time that was there. The average production time TP. In that equation, that is you just go back to your notes and see what is the equation for TB, the batch production time equation. It is T setup plus Q into TC, right?
Yes, ma'am.
In that same equation, if you put Q is equals to 1, what is TB? TB is going to be T setup plus TC.
Yes, ma'am.
Right.
Yes, ma'am.
Next, get what is TP? The average production time. It is TB by Q. What is Q here? Q
1.
is again, Q is 1, right?
Yes, ma'am.
So what is the final equation? Get TP.
Equal
is
to
equals
TP.
to T setup plus T equals to 1. So I have not shown the all other equations. I have directly written what is TP. TP is equals to T setup plus
नहीं क्या हुआ रे?
मैम एग्जिटेड।
नहीं, इधर लिखा था कि मैम वाज रिमूव फ्रॉम मीटिंग।
किसने रिमूव किया बे?
दिल को भी कौन सी मीटिंग?
हमदान क्यों रिमूव किया रे मैम को?
मैंने किया है
क्या करने का देखो भाई। विश्वा
बोल भाई।
फॉर द रिकॉर्ड मंदार ने निकाला रहेगा।
ಎಕ್ಸಿಟ್ ಮಾಡಿರ್ಲು ಮ್ಯಾಮ.
ಸಾಗರ್ ಪ್ರಾಂತ್
ನೀನ ರಿಮೂವ್ ಮಾಡಿ ಅಪ್ಲ.
ಏ ಬೈ ನನಗೆಲ್ಲ ಅಂತ ಟೆಕ್ನಾಲಜಿ ಬರಂಗಿಲ್ಲ.
ನಿನ್ ಮೇಲೂ ನೀವ್ ಅಕ್ಕತ್ತೆ ಎಷ್ಟು ವರ್ಷ ತಂದೆ ನಿನ್ ಮೇಲೆ ಫುಲ್ ನೇಮ್ ಅಕ್ಕತ್ತೆ.
ಸಾಗರ್ ಪ್ರಾಂತ್
ರೆಕಾರ್ಡಿಂಗ್ ಬಂದ್ ಮಾಡ್ರಿ ಮೊದ್ಲ. ರೆಕಾರ್ಡಿಂಗ್ ಬಂದ್ ಮಾಡ್ರಿ. ಯಾರು ಮಾಡತ್ತಾರ ಬೈ ರೆಕಾರ್ಡಿಂಗ್? ಹೆಂಗ್ ಬಂದ್ ಮಾಡ್ತೀವಿ?
ಮ್ಯಾಮ್ ಮಾಡಾತಾರೋ.
ಅನಿಲ್ ಶಿರಟ್ಟಿ
ನಮಗ್ ಹೆಂಗ್ ಬೇರೆದವ್ರಿಗೆ ರಿಮೂವ್ ಹೆಂಗ್ ಮಾಡಕ್ ಬರ್ತಿತ್ತು ಅವ್ರ
ಯಾರೋ ಮೊಬೈಲ್ ಹ್ಯಾಕ್ ಮಾಡಿರ್ಬೇಕು ಅವ್ರದ್ದು.
ಹ್ಯಾಕ್ ಮಾಡಿರ್ಬೇಕು.
ಬನ್ಸೋಡೆ ನೀನ ಮಾಡಿದಿ.
ಯಪ್ಪ ವೈಭವ್ ದೇಶಪಾಂಡೆ ಡಿಪಿ ನೋಡಲಿ ಹಂಗೈತಿ.
ಏ ಬೈ ಏನಿದೆ ಗುಲಾಬ್ ಜಾಮೂನ್ ಆಗೈತೆ.
ದರ್ಶನ್ ಗುಳಿ.
ಅಂಬಾಟ್ ಗಣೇಶ್
Hello.
CM Shiraz
Guys, sir is taking this seriously.